Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Build Insights video. Today we'll be taking a look at the build-out for the Porticus Minucia Frumentaria in Rome. This site covers an extensive portico with a large temple at its center, which was once the site where grain was distributed to the plebeians of Rome. It's also the fifth subsection of Phase 3 in my years-long effort to recreate all of the ancient city circa mid-4th century CE. This area comes in at around 3,200 bricks, bringing the running total for the entire SPQR diorama to over 247,000. It connects directly to the sites we explored in previous videos, including the Theater of Balbus and Largo, Argentina. A quick shout out to all my members over on Patreon who help to support my work. These projects take many months to realize, and patrons get to see every step along the way, like the digital design insights for the Porticus, which were shared all the way back in December 2024. It's also worth mentioning I don't do ad reads or any sponsored content despite near constant requests. If you find my work to be valuable and you'd like to return some of that value by becoming a member on Patreon, you'll find a link in the description. During the Republican era of Roman history, the public distribution of grain to eligible Roman citizens was often used as a stopgap measure to ensure political stability during times of hardship. But by the time of Augustus and the end of the Republic, the grain dole had become a necessary and permanent government policy. So much so, in fact, that the cura annoni, as the grain dole was known in Latin, was given a dedicated space in the city of Rome within the Porticus Minucia Frumentaria. Originally erected by Marcus Minucius Rufus in 106 BCE to commemorate a Roman victory over the Celts, the Porticus was redeveloped during the Flavian period in the aftermath of the fire which destroyed most of the Campus Martius in 80 CE. The newly paved Travertine Plaza was decorated with fountains of Pro-Canesian marble sourced from Marmara in Turkey, and was enclosed within a large quadriporticus, the remains of which have only recently come to light under the luxury hotel Palazzo Lares per Marini. The Porticus Minucia Frumentaria stood directly adjacent to the sacred temples of Largo, Argentina, and would have been accessible via the portico between the two. At the center of the porticus, there stood a large off-center temple known as the Ides Nympharum, dedicated to the nymphs around 57 BCE. Many sources have identified this temple as the Larum per Marinum, including the aforementioned luxury hotel built on its ruins. But recent evidence has re-identified the temple as dedicated to the nymphs. Meanwhile, Temple D of Largo, Argentina is thought to have been a likelier candidate for the Larum per Marinum. You can see the remains of Temple D under Via Florida in the newly accessible archaeological site of Largo, Argentina. And what remains of the Temple of the Nymphs are two columns which can be seen along Via delle Botteghe Oscure. From what I can tell, it also appears as if the modern walls behind the columns were built atop the walls of the temple cella, or cella if you prefer Latin, e cella se preferisci l'italiano. A thin alley once separated the Porticus Minucia Frumentaria from a building which once featured an exceptionally long-span roof. The derivatorium was put up in the late 1st century BCE and was used interchangeably for both the counting of votes in elections as well as assemblies for the election of magistrates. The fire in 80 CE left a burnt-out shell of the building, and it was never fully restored to its original purpose or structure. Turns out that it remained roofless and was likely incorporated into the domus of wealthy residents by the time of the 4th century depicted here. I hope you enjoyed these insights into the Porticus Minucia Frumentaria. If you'd like to see even more behind-the-scenes insights, you can check out the exclusive posts over on my Patreon. Aside from supporting my work, Patreon membership also gets you early access to all these insights videos. Thanks for following along. I'll see you in the next one.